Hello and welcome to another video. Today, you guys, we're working on this toned paper. I have this like Harry Potter parchment that I really didn't want to use for a while just because I don't really support Harry Potter anymore, but I guess I was like, well, I already bought it, so I might as well use it. So I just cut the Harry Potter part off and I drew this steampunk lady on here. Initially, I was like, I don't know how much, I wasn't really thinking about like personality or anything for her, but I was like, well, what if she's like sort of kind of like a mad scientist, which is why she's got like the swirls in her eyes and like the creepy sort of grin. And also, we're using tone paper. I was like, we should try to do something a little bit out of my comfort zone, so we're working with ink today. Specifically, we're going to be working with this Dr. P.H. Martin's Bombay Brown India ink, and I might be able to work myself up to using this De La Rowney acrylic artist ink in sepia, but I don't know, you guys. I don't really work in inks, and I decided I was going to work in ink wash. So first we're going to do like the flats, and then we're going to go over with line art. I'm using a brush to apply like the ink wash, and then I didn't really want to ink it with a paintbrush, so I have this glass pen. I never use my glass pen, you guys. My uncle got me this glass pen, and I never use it. And so I was like, we'll try to use our glass pen today. So we're working a little bit different from what I usually do. I don't typically like ink. I don't like waiting for ink and or paint to dry, so I like my alcohol markers. But we're trying today, you guys, okay? I'm going to try my best. I'm not really great with value, and I feel like when you work with ink, you gotta know what you're doing with value. But we're going to try. So I mixed up a little bit of ink, an ink wash for like her hair and stuff, and we're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna try my best. I'm not gonna erase the lines because when I tried to erase them, it fucks up the paper. So we're just gonna let the colored pencil work its way in there. I know it's kind of hard to see what's going on here just because of the way the light reflects off the pencil. I actually have a scan of the artwork. This is what the sketch looks like, you guys, and so we're gonna work with it. We're gonna do our best, and I'm not gonna cry. Okay, we're just gonna go in. I'm gonna try not to use too much ink at once because this paper it kind of buckles with water, and I guess I could tape it down, but I don't have tape. I have tape, but like, oh gosh, I don't know. I like that. It's been probably 7 years since I worked with ink, you guys, and probably that's the last time I worked with a brush, also. And I'm kind of freaked out because inking, I can do inking with a pen, but like inking with like a brush and ink washes are just not my thing. But I was like, you always do the same thing all the time. Let's try to do some other stuff. Like, you can do some other stuff. It'll be okay. And I'm like, but what if it's not okay? And like, what if it looks really bad? Which it probably will look really bad. But if it looks too bad, I just won't show you guys the video. I do realize that this character a little bit looks like Kira. I think I've gotten into a little bit of a slump where I just want to draw characters that look like my OCs. So this is not Kira. Maybe this is like her ancient ancestor from a steampunk alternate universe or something. Maybe her name is like Zira or something. Something dumb like that. Don't you hate it when it's like an alternate universe or like it's back in time and they're like, it's the same character's name but like with one different letter? I think that's so stupid. I kind of feel like maybe I should have made her hair the darker brown, but I don't have an ink wash for that one currently. I just made this one because I was like, well, I don't really like the other one. I don't really like the color. So I wasn't really planning on using it, but I was like, oh, I'm probably going to need it for contrast. I just don't like the texture. That's partially why I don't really like inks and I don't like watercolors. I don't like that texture. And also I don't like waiting for paint to dry. That's probably like 90% why I don't like inks. I just want to apply this to the hat. The hat should be dark. I don't think this paper is really meant for art supplies. I think it's just meant to like draw like, you know, cutesy letters to your friends. It's not really meant for like a lot of water. But I do what I want, so I'm adding water to it. It's okay if this turns out bad because I did scan this prior. And if it comes out really bad, I'll just use like a light box and copy it onto another piece of paper and use it with markers. But I wanted to try with the inks because I've had these inks for like 10 years, honestly. And for a while I was like, well, what if I got into inks? But inks are very similar to watercolor, and I was like, I fucking hate watercolor. And I don't know why I thought ink would be different. I mean, it is a little bit different. It's not like exactly the same, but it's similar enough for me to not really enjoy it that much. Like, I have no idea how I'm gonna layer this. And I only have the 2 colors for ink. I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna be enough contrast. Ah, fuck, I got my hand on it. Sorry, fucking, it takes forever to dry. Ah, I'm gonna title this video, like, watching me suffer. Do you guys like that sort of thing? I'm not liking this at all, you guys. And it's like not even close to being done. I thought about doing the line art first, but I don't know if ink is like watercolor, where if you put something down and then you put water on after, it will lift the ink up. I think that it is, so I didn't want to risk it. I was like, I'm not risking it. We'll just do the color first. Also, I got kind of lazy on her little goggles. They're supposed to be like little cogs, but also that's kind of dumb. I like steampunk as like an aesthetic, because it's like, oh wow, steam engines and shit, you know, it's kind of cool. But honestly, I don't think I've ever enjoyed any sort of steampunk media, honestly. Not that I said that there isn't any good, I just mean like, I haven't seen any steampunk media. Like, I don't know if you guys know any like steampunk shows or books or something. I think like Mortal Engines is like a steampunk novel, but don't quote me on that. I actually don't know. I think I used way too much water in this ink wash, but it's too late now. I feel like I should have traded colors for the vest and the little bow. The vest should have been the darker color, and the bow should have been the lighter brown, but it's too late. Because it clashes with her hair right here. Which is not what I wanted. I should really wait for this to dry before I start putting stuff down next to it. But being impatient. If it was alcohol markers, I could have done it. Damn it. Let's see, I'll add a little bit of blush on her cheeks, I guess. Just a little bit. I'm probably gonna feather that out with some just water in a second, because I don't want it too like in one blob. Just a little bit of water. Okay. That's probably alright, right? I don't know. I don't know, you guys. It's so hard. Get the shadow under her chin. It wouldn't be one of my tries if she didn't have shadow under her chin. Oh, I guess her eyebrows should also be that brown color. Whoops. And I also want her little goggles to be that same brown. But not the insides, I guess. The insides, I can make them darker or something. Oh, but they're still wet. The hat's still wet. Fuck! Just gonna have to be careful. I think I hate this. I think I don't like this at all. This paper is really crinkling. But like I said, I don't really have any tape. Well, I have tape, but I don't want to like glue it or tape it down to like my poster board, which is what the backgrounds of my videos are, you guys. It's a poster board. My desk is glass, actually, which is why I don't show it to you guys, because you can see like my feet. when I'm sitting underneath it. And no offense, I don't, no thank you. No feet, okay guys? I'm gonna leave this to dry for a while, and hopefully when I come back, it won't make me want to cry. Well, let me do her eyes real quick, I guess. Her eyes are also gonna be brown. Because why not? You know what I mean? Because why not? Okay, guys. Oh, I guess I gotta do her nose. Last step, her nose. And then hopefully the inking will save this, because honestly, so far, I hate this. I don't like it at all. Alright, you guys, I'm gonna let that dry. I'll be right back. I have to do my laundry. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. This has had time to dry, and I hate it, but it's okay. We're gonna line it, and hopefully that will save it in some way. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't really use my glass pen and or dip pen at all. So this might just be a frantic video of me freaking out for like 20 minutes. But let's just go ahead and line this. We're gonna be using the brown one for her skin, and then probably like the sepia for like, oh, it's not working. I was gonna cry. It's not working for a second. The sepia for like her hat and stuff. I think I used this glass pen in like literally one video one time for you guys. And I was like, I don't think this is for me. Just because it does take a long time. Not to dry, but like, what's the word I'm looking for? You gotta keep re-dipping it, basically. Which is like every kind of dip pen, obviously. But it's like, I don't want to re-dip it. I just want to go. I want to go. That's my issue. I can never work with like stuff like this because I'm so impatient. I'm like, can we just do it already? Can we just be done? It's already, we're doing it, right? We can just be done. I wish I could erase the pink. I'm gonna say it's an artistic choice. I'm gonna try to keep it upbeat for you guys, because nobody wants to watch a video of somebody complaining the whole time. I think I'm just getting nervous. That's all. It's easy to get nervous when you're doing new things. Like, I never work with ink. Like I said, I haven't worked with ink for like, I think the last time I worked in ink was 2018, and it's 2025, you guys. That's 7 years. And I wasn't exactly proficient with it when I was working with it then either. But I think it's important to try different things sometimes. Like, if I wasn't working with this brown ink, I never would have drew this lady. Steampunk's not my thing. And like I said, I did save this, so I do have like a scan of it. So in case I'm like, oh, I hate this by the end, which I might be, I'm gonna be honest, I can just redo it with alcohol markers. Not that I have very good browns for alcohol markers. Well, I guess that's not true. I have a lot of browns. I'm not sure if they're in any of these like sort of sepia tones. But next time I'm gonna use like real toned paper, because this parchment shit is not working. I kind of need to erase the lines. Maybe it would have worked better if it was graphite, but I don't have graphite. I threw away like all of my graphite pencils. Well, I didn't throw them away. I donated them. Because I was like, I'm not using these. I'm never going to use these. And then as soon as you throw something away, you guys, you're like, oh, I could have used that for this. But it's okay. I'm gonna do her mouth. Actually, you know, you guys, I think the lines are actually bringing this together. That's good, because I was gonna cry. I feel like I don't like them so much on her nose, but that's okay. That lip goes up a little too high, but that's fine. Aw, she's actually kind of cute. Oh, that makes me feel so much better. I'll say you guys, since this is tone paper, when I add the white highlights, it's really gonna pop. See you guys, you just gotta persevere. I always get so freaked out by like the ugly stage. I'm like, oh no, it looks so bad. And I freak out and I'm like, we should just scrap the whole thing. I always get freaked out by the ugly stage. But I don't need to freak out. It's gonna be okay. I just do it every time. I'm like, well, what if it doesn't turn out okay? What if it's ugly forever? And usually it's not ugly forever. Only sometimes it's ugly forever. More often than not, it's not. So that's good. I'm just glad this worked out, you guys, because I already had another failure today. I was making marshmallows. I've done it twice before, and they usually come out okay. The first time I did them, I added too much orange citrus, because they're orange marshmallows, and so I was like, they were like really tangy. And I was like, okay, not so great. And the second time I made them, they were just vanilla, but they were like way too sweet. They were too sweet. And I was like, okay, that's fine. We'll figure it out the next time I make them. And it's been a couple of months since I made them. And so I was like, I'll make some marshmallows. And this time I fucked up the sugar. You're supposed to like boil the sugar until it's like a specific temperature, because when you're boiling sugar, the different temperatures make it have like different properties or whatever. And so to make marshmallows, you want it to be boiled, the sugar, to like 260 to make firm marshmallows, right? And so I was getting to like 250, but the pot that I put it in, I don't think it was too small, but I swear I baked it in this pot before, but it was like almost gonna bubble over. And you guys, you do not want to have hot sugar boiling over. It's so dangerous. So I was like, okay, fuck, take it off the heat real fast. So I took it off the heat, and I was like, well, it got to like 250, so that must be okay, right? And so I was like, well, we'll just keep it off the heat, because every time I tried to put it back on the heat, it would start to bubble over again. I was like, fuck. So I, okay, 250 should be fine. And so I put it in to the gelatin at 250, and it was not fine, you guys. It did not want to like set. So usually when you make marshmallows and you mix them, you mix them until they start like pulling away from like the bowl, and the shit was not pulling away from the bowl, you guys. So I was like, oh no, it's not working. It's not setting up. So I was like, fuck. I had mixed it for about 20 minutes. Usually you only have to mix it for 10 to 12. And so I was like, okay, I fucked up. It was not hot enough, the sugar, so it's not gonna set up normally. I went ahead and like put it in there like I normally do. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, so this braid, I did not think this braid out at all. Oops. That's not good. That's actually really bad. Okay. Let's just drag it up here, I guess. I'm not freaking out about it because I knew it was going to happen. I saw it happening. And I was like, okay, I guess this might as well happen. I'll just drag it up. We'll make it like it was on purpose. It's just how her hair goes, that's all. Sometimes, you guys, you gotta make your mistakes be on purpose. So yeah, that's just got a thick outline. I did that on purpose. I love a braid with a thick outline, apparently. I feel like this pen is not working as well as it was. And you have to be like really delicate with like glass pens because the tip can really wear down. But I'm heavy-handed as fuck, you guys. I'm not delicate at all. So this braid looks a little bit like a pretzel. That's okay. I really want this to work because I don't want to switch to a brush. I can't ink with a brush for shit, you guys. It's like no matter what angle I do it at, it's not coming out. Guys, we might have to move to a brush because this pen does not want to work. Oh, maybe I heard that because it just decided to start working. It was like, no, don't switch me out. Okay. As long as you work, I won't switch you out. Oh, whoops, I messed that up. That's not where that's supposed to go. Oh, that's alright. We're just gonna have to pivot. We're pivoting. It's a lot less like a cog now, but that's fine. They didn't look very cog-like initially anyway. Inner circle's gonna be a pain in the ass. Actually, I guess that wasn't so bad. Oops. Spoke too soon. I messed that up. dripping. Damn, I put too much on this one. I think this ink has a different consistency. So it's pooling a lot more. Alright, that's okay. We'll just try to make it, we'll do the same thing. Try to make it look like it was on purpose. Sometimes you do stuff and you gotta make it seem like it was on purpose. Even though it wasn't. Whatever, we'll just color it in. There. If I have to make the whole thing dark, I'll do that. I guess we're just gonna color it in because this is bothering me. I guess this one just has a different viscosity. It's a bit more watery, I guess. Kind of wish I hadn't wasted time making the ink wash for it, but that's fine. I'm gonna be more careful on the hat because I'm not filling in that hat with all this ink. That'll take forever. Is it cuter as a little black bolo tie, you guys? I don't know. I'm gonna flip it over so that way I can do the hat. You really gotta be careful on the hat because it's right next to her face. And if I mess up her face, I'll cry. Okay. That was so scary. Okay. Okay, guys, this ink is still wet, but we're gonna risk it because I have to get this done fast. So let's do it. White highlights always look really good on tanned paper because the white actually gets to be, you know, white and not like blend in with the paper. I'm trying to think if I want to put a white outline on the whole thing. I think that might be too much. Well, let's try it on one side and see if that's fine. I think I'm just fiddling with it again at this point. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Sorry you couldn't see that last little bit of me doing the white highlights. I wasn't paying attention. I was lost in the sauce. Overall, I think this turned out pretty okay for my first time using inks in a while. I mean, I could probably do better with markers, but that's not the point. The point was to go ahead and try out a medium I haven't used in a while. And for that purpose, I think it turned out pretty good. I kind of wish I could have been able to erase the pink undertones under sketch and stuff, but you live and you learn. Now I know that I'm not going to be using pencil on this. I'll probably use white pencil next time, so that way it kind of blend in a little bit more, or like brown pencil. But yeah, that's the end of the video, you guys. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I will go ahead and see you in the next one.